Hello everyone, welcome to Management Study. And today we are going to see the consumer behavior models. This is our second lecture in consumer behavior. And the syllabus which I am following is the FMS syllabus, Faculty of Management Studies syllabus of Delhi University. So if you want to check, then you can simply visit to the Delhi University website and you have to type the FMS MBA syllabus. And in that syllabus, the consumer behavior is a subtopic of marketing. So you will get the whole syllabus of consumer behavior. So in today's lecture, we are going to see the traditional models of consumer behavior, which include sociological model, psychoanalytical model, learning model, and economical model. So first of all, economic model of consumer behavior. And what is the assumption? Consumers are rational and seek to maximize utility. Key factors are income, price of product, and substitutes and complements. Okay, so let's take an example of ourselves. Okay, we are consumers. Okay, we are, think economically. If we want to purchase something, then we do cost benefit analysis that if something worth, so if there is a, let's say there is a smartphone, okay, and if I want to purchase that smartphone and the price for the smartphone is 50,000 rupees. So I will do the cost benefit analysis, like what are the features of the smartphone, what is the quality of the camera, what are the, you know, other like sound and display and the cover and the, you know, the model itself. So we do a detailed cost benefit analysis that we need to ensure that our 50,000 worth of investment is worth it or not. So the economic model of consumer behavior focuses on that thing, that consumers are very price conscious and they will focus on pricing aspect whenever they try to purchase or buy anything. Okay. And also the substitutes and complements of a product also influence the consumer behavior. Like say, uh, if I want to purchase diary, okay, and the diary is a little bit costly, like diary is for 150 rupees, and there is also a simple notebook which cost only 20 to 30 rupees, okay. So my purpose is to write, okay, so I simply go for the notebook because I don't want to, write in a diary. I just want to write something in a paper, so I will go to notebook. So this way, substitutes and complements are also impacting economic model of consumer behavior. Then psychological models. These models focus on internal factors such as motivation, perception, learning, and personality. Okay. So motivation stands for what are the things that motivate us to pursue something. Okay, perception is like say, or perception towards something. If we see the red color, then what is the first image which generates in our mind regarding red color? If we see the, clock, then what are the thoughts coming in our mind after watching the clock? If if we see any celebrity, then what are our perception about that personality will come into our mind. So that is called perception. Our, you know, self, our predetermined thoughts, or our determined thoughts when we see something is called perception. Then learning, we all are doing learning, and the personality that we possess. Then comes the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is the most important topic. No matter if you are doing BBA or MBA or BCom or MCom, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a topic of psychology, and it is a very famous topic in management studies and as well as in real life, because this model, you know, uh, this model gives us the framework of needs. Like there are five needs inside my Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So first is physiological need. So physiological needs are the needs we say that our basic needs of food and shelter. Then comes the safety need. So our need for doing a job or getting into workforce is our safety need. Third one is love and belonging, which is called social need. Fourth one is esteem need, means our confidence. We are doing something, then we must be confident in doing that thing. Okay. And finally, our self-actualization need, which is if we are at the top of our whatever we are doing, if we are at the top of our industry or we are at the top of our career, then self-actualization need happens and we actualizes our true self or our true purpose in life. Okay. Then comes a Freudian model. Behavior is driven by unconscious motives like ego, superego, and ID. Okay. So buying decisions may be expression of deep psychological desires. And then C comes Herzberg two-factor theory. So these are all the Maslow's need hierarchy, Freudian model, and Herzberg two-factor theory are the theories of motivation. And what is included in the Herzberg two-factor theory? So it included hygiene factors and motivators. What is hygiene factors? So hygiene factors are product reliability, like prevent dissatisfaction. And motivators are product benefits through which we can drive satisfaction and loyalty. Then sociological needs, then sociological models, which emphasize the role of culture, social class, family, and reference groups. Consumers' decisions are shaped by their social environment. So this is also a very important cause of determining consumer behavior. Society in which we are living, the culture which is around us, the social class from which we are belong to, our family and our reference group. Then comes Howard Schacht model, which is integrative. It's a complex model based on learning theory, and there are four components in Howard Schacht model. Okay? So first is inputs, which is called stimuli, then perceptual and learning constraints, then outputs, that means buying behavior, and last but not the least is feedback. So it explains brand choice behavior in high involvement situations. So what set model is in explains us that we choose a brand in high involvement situation. Then comes Nicosia model, which focuses on the relationship between the firm and the consumer, which divides the process into four fields. First is firm's attributes and communication. Second one is consumer's attitude formation. Third one is search and evaluation. And fourth one is feedback after purchase. Then we have Angel, Collette, Blackwell, which is AKB model. 5 key stages of consumer decision making. First one is program recognition. Second one is information search. Third one is evaluation of alternatives. Fourth one is purchase decision. And fifth one is post-purchase behavior. Now, we are going to see how we can map the consumer's mind. Okay. So what is the mapping of consumer's mind? So it is the process of uncovering the mental processes, associations, and decision-making pathways consumers follow when they think about a brand or a product. So basically, mapping of consumer mind is a process of uncovering the mental processes, associations, and decision-making pathways consumers generally follow when they think about a brand or a product. So mapping the consumer's mind refers to techniques used to understand how consumers perceive, feel, and decide about products, brands, or services. It is especially important in marketing, branding, and advertising strategies. What are the key techniques to map consumers' mind? So first is perceptual mapping. Second one is visual representation of how consumers perceive brands relative to each other. Uses axes like price versus quality, or traditional versus modern in a bar graph or a pie chart. Here is the example. If consumer we view brand A as a premium and high quality, it appears in the top right of the map. So here is the map of a perceptual map for a fashion brand. So this side, you can see the tomato one, which is the high price and low quality fashion brand, which is first. Then second one in purple, which is high quality, high price fashion brands. Uh, Below it, your fashion brand, which is white, and red, high quality and low price fashion brand, and the green one is low quality, low price fashion brand. So based on this, we can map the perception of a consumer. Brand association mapping, which includes mind maps, shows what thoughts or feelings come to mind when a consumer hears a brand name. It helps identify core values and emotional connections. Examples for Amul. Consumers may associate Amul with trust. It is Indian, it tastes good, and it is a family brand. Because milk is a family brand. Milk is consumed in a family, so it is a family brand. So here is the brand association map of Nike. So you can see here that there is a competitive threat. There is a understand how a category relates to brand. There is a BAM focus, which is Nike identity, illuminate, and recognition. Consumer journey mapping tracks the entire path a consumer takes from awareness to purchase and beyond. Phases: awareness stage, then consideration stage, then purchase stage, then usage stage, and the last one is loyalty. So here is the typical consumer journey map. First is awareness stage, in which consumers generally aware about the product. Then second one is consideration stage. In this stage, consumer decides to whether buy or not the product. In decision stage, consumer finally decide to buy a product or not. And if he or she buys, then in the service stage, it is the responsibility of a product owner or a service owner to provide post-purchase services. And the last one, advocacy stage, which is a feedback or a friend referral. Okay. So this is a typical consumer journey map. Then there is the ZMET, which is Zeltman metaphor elicitation technique, which is, very exotic subject in itself. A qualitative technique using metaphors and images to access subconscious consumer thoughts. So it is a more of a neurology and less of a marketing. Consumers are asked to bring images that reflect how they feel about a brand or a product. So this is ZMET. Deterministic approach. A deterministic model assumes that outcomes are certain and based on known relationship between variables. If the inputs are the same, the output will also be the same. So what are the key features? No randomness or uncertainty. Cause-effect relationship is fixed, easy to predict outcomes. In consumer behavior, assumes rational decision making. Consumers Consumers will choose the best product based on price, features, or utility, often used in economic models. Then, probabilistic approach. A probabilistic model recognizes uncertainty and variation in consumer behavior. The same input can lead to a different outcomes, each with certain probability. Allows for randomness, emotions, and variability based on probabilities and distribution, often used in behavior and psychological models. So here is the Howard-State model of consumer behavior, in which we can see input, perceptual constraints, learning constraints, and output. So Howard is a foreigner, and Jagdish Sheth, the Jagdish Sheth is a Indian academician, Indian American academician. He is the founder of Jagdish Sheth School of Management, which is in Bangalore. Okay. So this is the Howard-Sheth model of consumer behavior, in which our inputs include social and symbolic and direct stimuli. Perceptual concepts include overt search, stimulus, ambiguity, attention, and perceptual bias. Then learning constraints include motivation, confidence, brand comprehension, choice criteria, attitude, intention, and satisfaction. And the out includes attention, brand comprehension, attitude, attention, and purchase. Input variable, which is stimuli. These are the external factors influencing the consumer. Significant stimuli, physical characteristic of a product like price, quality, and features. Symbolic stimuli, which is advertising, branding, and packaging. And the third one is social stimuli, which is family, peer groups, and social class. Perceptual and learning constraints. So it can be internal psychological variables. This explains how the consumer perceive and process the inputs. Perceptual constraints include perceptual bias, which is selective attention to familiar brands. sensation interpretation of stimuli, which is ads, brand symbols, and learning constraint, which includes motivates, needs and desires, brand comprehension, which includes knowledge and understanding of brands, attitude, learned predisposition towards a brand, and intention means readiness to it. And here is the output variable, which includes attention, brand comprehension, attitude toward brand, attention to buy, and intention to buy and purchase behavior. Exogenous variable, which includes external influence, they are consumer personality, financial status, social class, and time pressure. The process flow, so the input, then perception and learning, and the output. The cycle continues and evolves as a consumer learn from experience. When it is used, it used when high involvement purchases like cars, electronics, or real estates happen to understand brand switching behavior or for modeling complex buyer decisions. So here is the Nicosia model of consumer behavior developed by Francis of Nicosia. It focuses on relationship between a firm's communication and consumers' decision making. Its purpose is to show how a consumer form an attitude based on a firm's message and how that leads to purchase decision. Okay, so in field one, there is a firm's attributes and consumer attitudes. Field two, search and evaluation. Field three, purchase design. Field four, feedback. So here is the strength, which includes interactive relationship, attitude formation, and feedback loops. And here is the limitation, which is complex and abstract, doesn't work well for impulse or low involvement purchase. So Angel, Pollard, Blackwell, model of consumer behavior, EKB, model of consumer behavior, problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, post-purchase behavior, supporting factors in the model, which is personality, lifestyle, and motivates, environmental influence, which includes cultural, social class, and family, and memory includes past experiences, impact current decisions. Strength, logical and structured, includes psychological and external influences, easy to apply in both academic and marketing system. Context and limitations are assumes rational thinking may not fully capture emotional impulsive buying. So with this, we are completing our unit number 2. Thank you for listening this lecture.